There's this theory going around TikTok about Bruno Madrigal from Encanto being um, Maribel being his daughter. Now, we don't know that for sure because Disney did not reveal that. Disney made him her uncle, her Tio, and made Julieta and Augustus her parents. And Maribel, however you want to pronounce her name, I'm sure that I'm pronouncing it wrong. She looks like both her parents, a little bit like her mother, and a little bit like her. Well, I'm just gonna say she looks a little bit like her mother. Um, so I noticed throughout the movie that Abuela all but shuns Maribel just because she doesn't have a gift. That when she was 5 years old, because as we all know from the movie, that all the Madrigal children at the age of 5 get their magical gifts. Um, for example, Julieta heals people through food. Peppa controls the weather. Uh, Isabella flowers, basically plant life. Louisa strength, just to name a few. That I know that have, well, besides Camilo and Antonio and Bruno. Because those are the only family members out of the whole Madrigal family has gifts. Um, but there was a video that I saw that it talked about Bruno being Maribel's father and that her parents did not include her in the family picture. And I'm going to explain why. Maribel was not included in the picture because she does not have a gift. If you don't have a gift, you're not going to be in the family picture. Because Abuela told her halfway in the beginning of the movie that when Maribel was holding the box of goodies, like fireworks, candies, or whatever that was in the box, told her that she needs to not be in the way. Basically means that Abuela basically means that Maribel needs to be like a shadow, like be somewhere that is not underfoot and not cause a scene, not cause trouble, not cause anything to embarrass the Madrigal name and the family. Since she doesn't have a gift, she's less than. And that's what Abuela is making Maribel feel, is that she's less than. Just because she doesn't have a gift means she is less than her older sisters, her mother, her aunt, her cousins, Dolores, I'm forgetting Dolores, and her uncle, Bruno. Uh, and as we all know, Abuela does not have powers herself because she was given the famous gift of casita and whatever else. So, so the magical candle is in Abuela's room, as we all see in her on her windowsill, not window. Basically, as we all notice, Abuela never fully grieved for her husband who sacrificed himself and died. And I think she took the gift way too seriously, that she held on so damn tight to keeping the magical gifts alive that when Maribel did not get her gift, when her supposed door vanished after she touched the doorknob, and there's a theory about Maribel wiping off the magic off her white dress. Now, as we all know, our palms get sweaty when we're nervous and stuff like that, and I think the house Casita knew that the magic is being taken for granted and that the gifts are taken for granted because Abuela is taking all of that magical gift that was given to Abuela the moment that her husband died. I mean, at that point when he died, she did not take that for granted, but later she did. Isabella, the sister, the eldest sister, became the golden child, just like Julieta, from what I understand. That Isabella had to. Basically, every other family member besides Isabella had to keep up appearances of the Madrigal family being the. They were like the royal family of that Colombian village. I think the village is called Encanto, but the Madrigals are the basic royal family of that particular village because the magical candle put up defenses and gave Abuela Madrigal a gift that she took for granted. And she, Abuela, made a selfish decision by pressuring her family to be the most perfect royal family for their village. They had to marry well by finding a very handsome man, well, any particular man really, as we see with Julieta and Peppa, they found husbands. And as we all know, both Peppa and Julieta and their husbands are in their 50s. So, I think Dolores, the cousin, the female cousin, is roughly about the same age, or she's like in between. She's like stuck in between Isabella and Louisa in age, I guess. Or stuck between Louisa and Maribel. Well, she's in between Isabella and Maribel in age. And probably late teens, I guess. And Camilo is also the same age as Maribel, 15. And Antonio being 5. So with Antonio being 5, he would have been born 5 years before, when Peppa was like 44 or 45. And a woman's biological clock for childbearing is limited. Now, it's still possible to have children when you're in your 40s and 50s. Still possible, but risky. Um, but as most of us know, Peppa was pressured into having a third child because Maribel did not receive her gift. And in my honest opinion, Maribel's gift was the house the whole time. Because Maribel had a skin tight relationship with the house. And, sorry, I'm gonna spray some air freshener here. It's Glade's Cranberry Oh So Merry. Just to freshen up my room. But anyway, with Maribel being pressured into staying in the shadows and not being noticed, to not be anywhere near the family when they have guests over or otherwise. Which I think it's mean, to be honest, and we all know that. And very selfish of Abuela to do, because Maribel did not ask to be treated like some. She did not ask to be treated like a mistake that had just happened when she was 5. And, Maribel didn't ask to be, shunned out of the family just because she didn't have any powers. It's gonna get dark here for a minute. But I gotta talk quiet because I don't want to be loud and wake everybody up. But yeah, in my opinion, Abuela was all but cruel to Maribel for no apparent reason other than not having a gift. And and I'm sure. Okay, bright light coming back on. I'm gonna put my phone down here, but I'm still gonna talk. But I think that Abuela should not have treated Maribel the way she did, but she still did it anyways. I think it's wrong that she treated her granddaughter with such disrespect, because Maribel did not ask for her grandmother to all but shun her for not having a gift. And I think the reason why Casita had collapsed and why Maribel had noticed all the cracks way before the house even got demolished, because of the family dysfunction. Now, every family has some sort of toxic disgruntlement or misgivings or whatever. But Maribel was trying to basically warn the family. Like after Maribel had talked to Louisa, I mean, Louisa knew that the miracle was fading. Most of the family members knew that the miracle was fading. That they just didn't want to acknowledge the fact that, well, majority of the time it was Abuela who did not want to acknowledge that the miracle that she had built the family on was dying. So until the end of the movie, where Abuela and Maribel get into a heated discussion about the cracks in the house after Isabella and Maribel start to patch things up with each other. After Isabella realizes that she can create other plant life besides roses and well, just a bunch of roses, basically. Since she was angry, she made a cactus. So after both of them were on a pile of flowers, Abuela was blaming Maribel about all the things that Maribel did not do. Maribel was trying to help her family, and Abuela was not really realizing that. And I think that throughout the whole movie, Abuela was gaslighting her granddaughter the whole time. And as Isabella stated to Maribel, she didn't love Mariano. She was going to marry him for the sake of the family. That she was going to have those 5 kids, and she's going to marry him because she's doing it for the family. Now, the problem with that is that Abuela is pushing her grandkids, especially with Isabella being the oldest, to find a husband. A husband that will help reproduce the future generation of Madrigals. Now, Maribel did not mean to disrupt the engagement. I mean, the little get together where Mariano was going to propose to Isabella. It was an accident, and she was being blamed for that particular accident. But there's no way that Maribel is the daughter of Bruno. He's not had any sexual relations, as we know, that Disney has not put out yet, that he's her father. So